Now, your KSBW weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lee Solomon.
Good evening, everybody. Quick check on the temps from earlier today, and it was a classic July mix of 60s and 70s at the coast and 70s and 80s inland. Pretty much right where you'd expect most spots to be. Some of the inland side, maybe even a few degrees below average. Pretty strong marine inversion right now. You can see it's covered the entire coast of California, even all the way up to Seattle. So it's the entire west coast and down to Baja. So not a whole lot of folks getting sun, at least immediately on the beaches along the west coast of the U.S., although we've had a little in the afternoon. It's still hot inland, though. 95 Sacramento, 99 Fresno, 100 in Bakersfield today. And the heat's building back in the deserts, and unfortunately, this is going to work towards us over the next few days. So that 115 starts heading our direction. Not that it's going to be 115 here, but the heat is going to creep northward. You can kind of see some of that here. This is all really a dry and warm air that's working northward. There's a little area low pressure that will pass by, and this big ridge, you can kind of see it looks kind of like an A here, and that is centering itself and moving towards us. So that means a warming trend is underway. And you can see again the heat, 109 in Phoenix, 97 in Salt Lake. So this heat will build back towards us over the next couple of days. A little bit cooler back east. They've had a good front come through New England, dropping the temperatures down into the 70s. Some rain, but a lot of rain down on the Gulf Coast. And then look at Florida dealing with Hurricane Elsa right now. Now, about 6 hours ago, Elsa was really just a tropical storm. You can see it kind of had this weird shape, just kind of a blob, right? Not very symmetric, although it's starting to form that eye again, and that's why, again, it's become a hurricane, and the winds have strengthened as well. The good news, if there is any, is that the center of the storm is off the coast, and that's very important. Even though a lot of folks will get wind and rain, they won't get the strongest winds, which are really right around the center, so they'll get those 30, 40, maybe some gusts to 60, but they probably won't see sustained winds of 60 or 70 miles an hour. And you can see 56 miles an hour here. Now remember, that's a sustained wind. That's not in gusts. So gusts could be upwards of 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. But again, that's off the coast. So I think the strongest winds will remain off the coast for now, and it may weaken a little bit as it comes into the panhandle with, again, 40 or 50 mile an hour sustained winds. And where it makes landfall, there may be some areas that could see gusts upwards of 80. So that will do some damage, and there'll be some flooding as well. Tomorrow, if you're traveling, you can see the warmth will be out there in the Central Valley, upper 90s to around 100 for most, 112 Palm Springs, 114 in Vegas, 105 in Redding, with 60s and 70s down through Southern California, Santa Barbara, 78 and 84 in LA. Taking a look at our local forecast, of course, low clouds will be back around the bay in the morning. They'll peel back, but they may take their time doing so around the peninsula. 3:30, still looking at some lingering low clouds on some of the beaches. 50s overnight tonight. Low clouds spreading inland, patchy fog, mist. Tomorrow, mid-60s to middle 70s. Marine layer clearing out in the afternoon with some lingering low clouds on the peninsula beaches. 70s, 80s, and a few low 90s for the valleys. We're kind of pumping up a degree or two every day or so now. Mid-60s San Francisco, 77 San Jose. The 80s to low 90s back for the Santa Cruz Mountains, so a little above average. 70s along the beaches and 60s. 81 Corralitos, 84 Morgan Hill, 86 Gilroy, 70s though in Wattsville, 82 San Juan Bautista, middle and upper 60s though, Moss Landing and Prunedale. Here in Salinas we got 70, 77 in Greenfield, 85 in King City, low to mid 90s though south of there, 64 in Seaside, 66 Marina, 64 Carmel, and 78 in Carmel Valley. Now your KSBW 8-day forecast taking you through and into the weekend. Morning low clouds. We may see a little less of the marine layer into the weekend and slight warming at the coast with 60s, 70s. Some spots around Santa Cruz may tap out at 80. The valleys and hills, though, they're getting a little warm. 80s to low to middle, and then middle into upper 90s coming for the weekend. We're going to watch that closely. Some of your spots like Boulder Creek, Gilroy, King City could be in that 95 to 97 degree range. I wouldn't call it quite a heat wave for us, but it is going to be above average and warm, and it's turning out to be a very warm summer, not only in California, but up in Oregon, too, where they're breaking some records for the longest stretches of 95 degrees plus.
The temperatures are crazy.
It's been unbelievable up there, and they're going to get a lot of this heat coming that way as well.
Last thing they need.
They have some big fires up there, too.
Exactly.
All right. Do our weather quiz. Speaking of hurricanes, the most intense hurricanes go through eye wall replacement cycles, which can actually weaken the hurricanes.
I don't even understand.
Well, the eye wall...
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Is it? I guess it's replaced because it's cyclical. So
Sure,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
sure.
So-
Yeah, they
yeah.
sometimes they get the double eye wall, which means there's one and then another one on the outside, and the one on the outside kind of comes into the center, and then it'll weaken a little bit, and then it'll reform. So it could go from a Cat 5, and then it goes down to a 4, and then it goes back to 5.
Got
So it
it.
kind of has this pulsing effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
it. All right.
Thanks,
Lee.
Lee.
You're welcome.